right, let's get out of here.
There is no time. We must leave.
If they hit us, we're dead. But if they keep missing us, we're dead. It's great odds.
That's weird. It kicks me out.
Somebody
Whenever
shut
there's
that
a
trash
cutscene.
compactor up.
Alright, here's what I'm going to do. Fire on the asteroids. First necessary
That'll take
evil
out the
thing
whole
I need to do.
field, the colony, and maybe us. We might not even be able to jump to hyperspace in time.
Then we die here.
Hold on. This is gonna get a little rocky. Well, now that we just killed a planet, maybe one of you can tell me what's going on. Because between assassin droids, a Sith Lord that looks like he sleeps with vibroblades, and being target practice for a Republic warship, I was better off in my cell.
The Republic warship was the Harbinger. It was seized on its way to Telos by the Sith. They sought you, Jedi. Because you are the last of the Jedi. Once you are dead, then they have won. Exile or not, the Sith believe you to be a Jedi Knight, and that is all that matters.
Guess it was a little bit loud, but anyway. Last of a Jedi. It can't be
The
true.
Jedi Civil
And
War
it's not
destroyed the
true.
Jedi. By the war's end, barely 100 Jedi remained. Many fell in battle, and many more were seduced by Revan's teachings. The Jedi Academy on Dantooine is nothing more than a crater that echoes with the ghosts of dead Jedi, and the Jedi Temple on Coruscant lies empty. The waters in the Room of 1,000 Fountains have fallen still in reverence to the fallen Jedi and those now lost. Many Jedi blamed the teachings of the Jedi Masters for Revan's fall, and the civil war that followed.
Let's take a look. If any survivors still alive, we need to warn them. Or, then the Jedi are dead, gone, and good riddance. You know, I'm going to play a character who has a bone to pick with the Jedi. I'm not necessarily going to kill them all, but
Perhaps, but they
this
are
is a very
Jedi no
gray
longer.
area.
If the Sith have not already slain
Game.
them, then they will not help you, nor can you help them. That is
how
not
do
an
we
easy
stop the
question to
Sith?
answer. This threat is greater than you know, and I do not believe it is a battle that can be fought.
So, what do you think we should do?
Look, enough with the we already.
Oh, shut
You
up,
cannot
Adam.
hope to triumph against them alone. To stop them, you will need weapons, allies, and a teacher. In the end, I fear it may not be enough.
Any enemy can be fought and killed, and if I say this, then she is going to scold me.
You fought in the Mandalorian Wars, and it cost you everything. Are you willing to sacrifice as much again?
The Mandalorian Wars were my choice.
You are not listening to me.
Oh, yeah.
This is not like any field of battle you have ever fought in. Think carefully on your choice. If you choose to fight, if you choose war, it is a path few turn from once the first steps are taken. It carries with it a terrible price, and in the end you may find you have nothing left to sacrifice.
There's some good options, like you're never gonna make happy. Well, I do have nothing to lose now. How bad could it be? Or I turned away from war once, I can do it again.
Like so many Jedi, you hear, but you do not listen.
Ah, shit.
You have much to learn.
Oh, there's going to be a Mandalorian show.
Yes, to aid in the recovery effort there. Many roads lead to Telos, including ours.
Not like we have much of a choice, the Paragus astrogation charts being what they are.
It is where we must go, and where the Harbinger was bound before our unfortunate encounter on Paragus.
That's a good question. How did you know I was on board the Harbinger? Or it looks like I didn't cover my tracks well.
You were difficult to find, but coincidence was on our side. When I learned that you were on the vessel, I knew the Sith would not be far behind. When we intercepted the Harbinger, it was crippled, drifting in space. It was a simple matter to board the vessel and rescue you. Unknown to me, however, the Sith were already on board. Just as we made the jump to hyperspace, they fired upon us, nearly destroying the Ebon Hawk. Whatever occurred on board the Harbinger had rendered you unconscious. Though your thoughts were faint, I was still able to find you, sealed in one of the cargo holds.
That's an unusual set of coincidences, indeed.
True. But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare. I do not know how the Ebon Hawk was able to make it to Be silent. We're having a conversation here.
He says that he repaired the ship and got us to Paragus. Yes, I'll go with that one. Other ones, and the robot's gonna hate me.
Repaired this ship, my eye. Next thing you know, it's gonna claim credit for saving our skins. If that little noisemaker says it repaired the ship once, then it can prove it by doing it again. Go on, Gip!
But we have spoken long enough, and my wound pains me. If you have other questions, find me in the crew quarters. There we will speak more.
Hey, don't stop your long, boring rants on my account. I was just getting sleepy-eyed.
Also in private, we will be mercifully free from the opinions of imbeciles and fools.
Look, not like I care or anything, but you might want to go check on our passenger, especially with that hand of hers.
I'll have to see teaser footage. The other thing is that Disney has been playing around with the idea of making a Knights of the Old Republic game, which would be pretty, or not a Knights of the Old Republic game, but a Knights of the Old Republic movie, which I'd be down to see if they didn't bastardize it. The only problem is that this game is very gray. Like, there is no good versus evil. It's just a bunch of assholes and pompous pricks. Yeah, well, there is kind of a sad thing. I mean, with movies, gone are the days of people coming up with good ideas and making a movie out of it. Now we just have people going off of charts and seeing what would make the most amount of money. And video games are starting to do that too. And part of that's going to be appealing to the lowest common denominator. Not everyone likes there's no defining line between good and evil. A lot of people have the there's good or there's bad mentality. So, you're right, she may need help. Can you handle things up here?
We're on autopilot until we hit Telos.
Dark side point gained, light side point gained. Now, if you were wondering why I'm spinning, it had to do with the joystick that was plugged in. Oh well, we are in a ship in hyperspace. We shall go check out Kreia. This is not where Kreia is staying. I like how there are two crew quarters, like on the other side. Interesting design choice. And now it's time to save. Because I have no idea how to fucking please her.
Have you come for more answers? There is little more left to give. That does not surprise me, any more than you hearing my thoughts when we were apart. The pain, however, was unexpected. If I could, I would have shielded you from it.
It is what it is. So let's see. None of these three options are good. She doesn't want pity, and she doesn't want to be patronized. So, if I hit 4, if I felt the loss of your hand, what would happen if you had died?
I do not know. I fear that the consequences would have been more extreme. Then the
More
sensation
extreme.
you
It
would
felt like
feel
my
upon my
hand was
death
dipped in
might be
liquid
less than
carbonite.
that, though much quicker.
Would it have been lethal?
Possibly, yes, and I fear it works both ways. I would not wish to test it, nor should you.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Actually, no, it does. Oh, I love option 4. But at your age, you could die any moment, especially considering the way you act. Oh, you could be a total fuckwad in this game. Of course, not as bad as 5. I will not allow my life to be tied to some half-dead, delusional old woman. Yeah, 2 is probably the best one.
When battle is upon us, I suspect our minds are prepared enough to shield each other from the pain.
You and Kreia possess the Force Chain special ability. When either of you uses a Force power on yourself, the other gains a benefit as well. Which is a very, very nice ability.
A powerful technique indeed, though, as we have noticed, it has its drawbacks.
Might have some drawbacks, but is all good. I need to know more about the Sith hunting us.
These Sith, they seek the death of all Jedi, as have all the Sith, since the Jedi Order was first split.
The first split, you say?
Yes, the Jedi Civil War is not the first one of its kind. Thousands of years ago, the Jedi had another civil war that split the Order. It was a terrible thing. A faction among the Jedi abandoned the teachings of the Order, following their own path. They waged war on their fellow Jedi, a war that raged across the galaxy. But these fallen Jedi were cast out, defeated, and they retreated to worlds in the Outer Rim. Over time, they took on the mantle of the Lords of the Sith, but in their hearts they never forgot the Jedi. The hatred for the Jedi Order burns in their veins like fire and echoes in their teachings. Revan tasted it, as Malak did.
But these Sith seem different.
In a manner of speaking, they are different from Malak in that they are concerned only with the destruction of the Jedi. For them, it is all that matters, all that ever mattered. It is a different war these Sith wage, a thing of silence and shadow. They strike from the darkness, hiding from the face of the galaxy until all Jedi are exterminated. After all the Jedi are gone, then the galaxy is theirs, no matter whether the Sith or the Republic rules. It is the dark side that shall reign, unchecked.
It is actually kind of weird to think about it. That there aren't a lot of Jedi and there aren't a lot of Sith, and I forgot who it was. Was it Darth Plagueis the Wise? But wasn't it one Sith who said that this galaxy isn't big enough for two Siths? There was only a master and apprentice and nobody else? So that's kind of a weird one. You'd think that that would handicap the ever-living fuck out of a Sith, while the Jedi just have so many. But then you had a Sith who was very manipulative, wiped out the Jedi, just about. It was before Darth Plagueis. Okay. But yeah, there was like a one master, one apprentice rule. And if you think about it, that doesn't leave a lot of Sith. And if there's more than one Sith, they try to kill each other. In fact, I think at the beginning of it, there were like 3 Darths, or 3 Sith Lords. Then you ended up with one. This one, on the other hand, killed all the Jedi. Not really through brute force. Well, no, they have a Jedi Academy. So, the Jedi are willing to recruit anyone who is Force adept. However, they must be recruited at a young age. They get brainwashed. They're supposed to suppress their emotions. As we know, that doesn't happen all the time. And in terms of it, there are a lot more Jedi than there are Sith, if we're talking about Civil War era. In fact, even during the Civil War era, there were more Jedi than Sith. There was just 2, Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. Yes, but remember, there were a ton of younglings. So they were all pretty much, well, they were all pretty much Padawans. So Jedi are a lot more open than the Sith. The Sith are more selective, and I'm guessing that wasn't always the case, because in Knights of the Old Republic 1, they have the Korriban Recruiting Academy. Of course, back to the point that I was getting, the way that it works is that, well, I guess Darth Sidious, the way that he made it work is that he was a master manipulator. Obviously, he couldn't fight and kill every single Jedi. In fact, I am not entirely convinced that he intentionally threw the fight between him and Mace Windu, because, you know, he is a fucking Jedi consulate. So, odds are he had to get enough power to the point where he could just use other people to wipe out the Jedi. That would be the smartest thing to do. Anyway, back to the game. I've never seen Sith assassins like that, those on a Harbinger.
I believe them to be the result of special teachings. Their apparent weakness against you is evidence of this. Those Sith assassins can sense their prey through the Force. It is like a hunger. They feed and grow stronger when they are near Force sensitives. The stronger their prey is in the Force, the deadlier they become. As long as you were cut off from it, you were able to evade their sight. But after Paragus, I fear that you will be no longer shielded from their eyes, or the eyes of their masters. The stronger you grow, the more will come.
This is a lot to take in at once. I need time to reflect on this.
I would see to that fool in the cockpit, and remind him of our destination. I would not want him attempting to veer from Telos.
Will do. I'll go see him now. Yeah, so with Kreia, you basically need to be willing to learn what she's saying. You need to kind of understand her ideology, for one. And yes, I like getting this entire map explored. I have a weird tick that way. So yeah, you don't want to be condescending. After all, nobody likes someone who's condescending. You can't be a total asshole. Again, don't be condescending, but you also can't act like a total dipshit, or hard-headed, or hot-headed. Anything like that. Now it is time for Aten, and I'm not exactly good at this one because, well, we'll find out. Also, is they the only ones? Yeah, okay. Let's try talking to Aten and see what he has to say.
How's our passenger? She's still aging?
For someone without much to say, she sure says a lot.
Yeah, to you, maybe. I don't usually hear much beyond fool and imbecile. She's lucky she's a Jedi, or someone would have killed her years ago. I mean, how old do you think she is? She may have been good-looking once, but it takes some hard living to make creases like that.
Hard living, you say?
Yeah. Her face looks like it was plowed by crazed Ord Mantell farmers. Don't tell me you were too distracted by her personality to notice.
Now, here's the interesting thing about Aten. Aten does not like Kreia, but he doesn't tolerate disrespect for her. This is probably a bad idea, but look, ease off the insults. She was just wounded helping us. Yeah.
Whoa, all right. Don't get mad at me.
Shit.
Hey, I didn't ask her to stay behind and get her hand cut off, okay? I mean, I appreciate what she did and all, but she could stand to lay off the insults herself, you know?
Getting empathy from you is like squeezing water from a stone.
Yeah? Well, how much water you get from a stone depends what planet you're on. Like we have a choice? You know, if you thought should be there before too long. You can check our course on the galaxy map if you want. It's on the wall behind you. So, what happened?
What are you talking about?
Don't give me that. There were plenty of times back on Paragus where a lightsaber would have been helpful. So where's yours? Oh yeah? I thought a Jedi was supposed to be married to their lightsaber. Guess I heard wrong. Were you a single hilt or one of those double-bladed Jedi?
Definitely single hilt. I never liked the double-bladed
Figures.
look.
It wasn't red, was it?
Yeah? Unique how?
Violet, like the... Ooh, orange. Let's go with orange.
Must have been something. Sure be nice to have it now. Might make those Sith think twice before coming after us.
I think having it would just drive them to hunt me harder.
Alright, forget...
Actually, come to think of it, that's all good. So let's travel to Paragus, shall we? Oh, so now it's the proper one, huh? Okay. Okay, I got it. God, 30 FPS is not good on the eyes. In fact, I don't even think that that's 30 FPS. That looks more like 24 FPS. It's more cinematic, right?
Attention, this is Citadel Station Bay Control, Dock Module 126. Please remain where you are. Lieutenant Dahlgren will arrive shortly to meet you. That is all.
I don't like the sound of that. If they think we caused the explosion... Uh-oh. Here comes the welcoming party. They may not know what happened, so don't blow it.
I'm Lieutenant Gren, Telos Security Force. I'm under orders to take you into custody in regards to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility.
And there we go. Are we under arrest?
You haven't been formally charged, but you will be placed under house arrest pending the results of our investigation. Due to the nature of the investigation, I have no specific timetable to offer you. In the meantime, your ship and any droids will have to be given over for safekeeping. Yes, that includes you. You are a droid, so you will be detained. In addition, we will have to take your personal arms and armor until the completion of our inquiry.
How fucking rude. Droids have rights. No, wait, they don't. Yes, this is a... Oh, God. Yeah, this is outrageous. You don't have any evidence.
You are the only witnesses of the mining facility's destruction. Thus, it is necessary for us to keep you under surveillance until we have a better idea of what happened.
I understand, son of a
Hold
bitch.
on. Is there any way to get our gear back?
If you are cleared of any involvement, your personal effects will be... You will be held briefly in the TSF station until living quarters can be arranged, at which point you will be placed under house arrest. Do you understand?
I do. I'll
Good.
cooperate.
My men will relieve you of any arms and armor. Please follow me.
Tell me I'm not going to jail again.
Yes, you are, Atten. Yes, you are. And here we have the Handmaiden. What's very interesting about this character is that she's not that well known because everybody plays as a female Jedi in this game, because canonically...
You will be held here briefly. Living quarters
It's
are being
a female
arranged for you
Jedi.
and your companions as we speak. Someone will return shortly to escort you to an apartment in residential module 082.
A force cage? This is ridiculous.
As I said, this is only temporary while other arrangements
I
are
sound
made.
like a whiny little brat,
I'm sorry, but
don't
you'll
I?
just have to bear with us until then.
I just think that I understand is too goody two-shoes. Fuckwad.
Well, we might be here for a while. Might as well get comfortable.
Someone is coming. So this is the last of the Jedi.
I must admit I'm a little disappointed.
Ireland is a few galaxies that way, sir. But anyway, now this is going to be very interesting, and it brings up something that nobody ever talks about. I'm surprised nobody ever talks about, and I wish someone would talk about it. But let's talk about this. What's going on?
The Exchange has a bounty on Jedi, you know. You're worth quite a bit of money.
The Exchange, huh? I'm pretty sure some two-bit pistol jockey like yourself isn't one of them.
Hey? I'm more than skilled enough to work for the Exchange.
You bounty hunters couldn't even win a fair fight. You're the cheapest, most worthless mercenary scum in the galaxy. I'd hire a Mandalorian over your filth in a second.
No Mandalorian could match my skills. No Mandalorian could have been clever enough to infiltrate this station, taken the identity of one of the guards, then...
Then what? Overloaded our force cage fields and made it look like an accident? You probably don't even have the guts to fight me. Pathetic.
Don't think overloading your cages had not occurred to me. You're wanted alive, but I doubt anyone will care as long as I bring them your corpse. Come, Jedi. It is time to die.
Hey, leave him alone. You want to fight? Then try me if you've got the guts.
You have goaded me once, and you shall not do so twice. But I shall dispose of all of you eventually. And an old woman, a fool, and a broken Jedi are no match to my skills.
Alright, so, back to what I was saying. So, Batu Rem. This guy is a total fucking pushover. But, yeah, the point that I want to bring is... I actually think that... Jedi should be portrayed as skilled martial artists. And by martial artists, I don't mean just, using the lightsaber and whatnot. I mean actual hand-to-hand combat. I imagine Jedis, they train ever since childhood. They must know how to work in a fist fight if, for whatever reason, they don't have their lightsaber available to them. That's what a smart tactician would do.
Yes.
But I always pictured that in this situation...
The security cameras are... What? What's going on here?
Man down! Quick! Call a medic!
All right, Jedi. I want you to back up slowly. Hands in front of you. Into the force cage. Cooperate, and we won't have to gun you down.
Come on, Lieutenant. They've already killed... who is that? Is that Batu Rem?
Yeah, so I always pictured this fight in my head that once the force cage was down, gun was pointed, force stun, closed in, beat the guy to death. Because honestly, in a real fist fight, it doesn't take that many hits to bring someone down. Usually it's like 1 or 2 hits, depending on how hard it is. So, I'm gonna be a prick. No, he was an assassin. Or, impressive you allowed an assassin to infiltrate your ranks. Sounds very Atton-ish, but whatever.
Rem's no assassin.
Batu Rem is on leave. He shouldn't even be on the station. This man isn't him.
I'm glad someone noticed that only after he tried to kill me. Why not?
We've arranged for an apartment in residential module 082. You'll stay there under house arrest until our investigation of the Paragus matter is complete. You'll be under TSF protection. I'll personally clear any visitors to your quarters, and we'll investigate this incident to the best of our ability.
Alright, let's go.
Officer, get Lieutenant Yima a report of this incident. She'll look into this. The rest of you come with me. We'll escort you to the apartment in 082 immediately.
Excuse me, you have a caller. Moza, representing the Ithorian planet restoration interests on Telos. Lieutenant Gren's cleared.
Alright, let's...
Very well. I'll let him...
Let's send him in. Alright, so, what is this about? Or why did he come himself? You don't say. So what is this about? Yes, I know the restoration project in Telos. It isn't like I have played this game like more times than I should have. Heal me? Question mark.
Perhaps Choda Habat should turn his eyes to his own people, if they truly suffer so.
I'll consider it. That's all I gotta say. I'll consider it.
Now perhaps...
Yes, let's rest. And of course, we weren't gonna get some sleep after all, so if anything, do not accept the call.
We should get back to bed.
Yes, I agree.
Explain something to me.
I do not have the years required, nor the desire to indulge you.
If he served in the war, well, Jedi are supposed to be tough, capable.
Yes, and what are they without the Force? Take the greatest Jedi Knight, strip away the Force, and what remains? They rely on it, depend on it more than they know. Watch as one tries to hold a blaster, as they try to hold a lightsaber, and you will see nothing more than a woman, or a man, a child.
But to lose so much, I guess I didn't realize how much they relied on it.
Do not be surprised. In many ways, even you are more capable than a Jedi. You could survive where they could not simply because you do not hear the Force as they do. It is irony of a sort, and it is why I tolerate your presence now.
But such a loss of ability, for a Jedi, it seems so extreme.
He has been gone from war some time. It is conflict that strengthens us, and isolation that weakens us, erodes us. Add to that he turned away from war, did all that he could to forget it, and the last piece clicks into place. But we have spoken enough of this, and we do him a disservice by not speaking of this while he is present.
I've come to inform you that the Telosian government has completed its inspection of what's left of the Paragas facility. It appears that the Harbinger had indeed been present, though it was gone when our ships arrived and was responsible for the station's destruction. Logs recovered from the facility's wreckage indicated that the miners perished as a result of sabotage, which began while you and your companions were either incapacitated or incarcerated. As such, you are to be released from house arrest. However, the Republic is sending its own ship. They have insisted that you remain on station for the duration of their search.
Alright, so why is the Republic sending a ship?
To further investigate the station's destruction and search for their missing ship, the Harbinger.
Yeah, when they find that ship, they're not going to survive. But, alright.
The sojourn is already en route. Likely not more than a few standard days. Feel free to use these quarters. The vessel's IND is complete. Please visit the TSF Station and Entertainment Module 081 to complete the necessary paperwork at the front desk.
The Ebon Hawk should be transferred from the impound docks by the time you're free to leave.
Alright, and what about
After
the T3
filling out the
droid?
paperwork, it'll be transferred with your ship along with your confiscated weapons and armor.
Ah, okay. So
Now
we
what?
don't get the
We can't
R2
just stick around.
clone.
We need to find a way off the station. Whether it's the Ebon Hawk or some other ship. We could hit Nar Shaddaa, maybe. If you've got people coming after you, it's where you go to get lost in the crowd.
Let's ask Kreia what she thinks.
It is difficult to say. I feel we came to Telos for a reason, but we may have spent too much time here already. Even if the Harbinger was destroyed at Paragus, more Sith could already be on their way. Still, there is a chance we might learn of other Jedi here, on the planet's surface. Jedi who might help us restore your abilities, or sever the link between us.
Well, what do you think?
What do I think? I think we're fucked. But
It is unlikely, but we shall see.
that we will. Alright, so let's level up. Let's take a look at my skills. Oh, I'm gonna put a fuck ton of skill and persuade feats. Oh, you bet your ass, improved flurry. Got it. What powers do I want? Oh yes, this gives me more options for mind trick. There we go. Gonna auto level up you, and sorry, auto level up you, Kreia. There we go. Cool. Now I actually wonder if people speedrun this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But needless to say, there is something I do want to talk about, because remember, I earlier brought up the fact that there could possibly be a new Star Wars movie based off of Knights of the Old Republic. And if you think about it, well, I'll reserve my opinions about how I think that's a good idea or a bad idea. But either way, the truth of the matter is that it's kind of hard to make a movie off of Knights of the Old Republic, or at least it historically was, because at the end of the day, there are licensing issues. Because remember, Disney might own the rights to Star Wars, but Knights of the Old Republic is owned by EA, because this was created by BioWare, or at least the first one was. Created by BioWare, then contracted out to Obsidian for their second one. So, obviously, there's been some... what's the best way of putting it? Obviously, there are some, well, licensing issues with regards to that, but considering that EA is now working with Star Wars, they're probably way more likely to give away their creative property. That we will. Sorry if I want to skip through the pleasantries, because Chodo Habat is the more interesting person. Trust me, he is way more interesting if you ask me. Alright, so here he is. You sensed my arrival. So Moses said you could heal me. What does that mean? Now, it is funny that he brings this up. So, listen to what Chodo said. It is as if you once felt the Force flow through you. It was then torn away, brutally and quickly. The echo comes from the hollows where it once flowed through you. Notice how he uses the keyword once. It implies that the Force doesn't flow through you. But you might be wondering, how could that be? I have Jedi powers, correct? So why can't I have the Force? And the answer to that one will be revealed later in the story. So I'm going to say perhaps, and if so, how could you help?
Your speech is filled with maybes and perhaps. You are bold to make promises of healing while the world under your care burns and dies. You may be able to help, but there is always a price, is there not?
Ah, yes, you mean the trouble with Zerka. Was it stolen? Yes, I will see to it safely. Okay, so, a few things do have to be pointed out. And what kind of rubber banding was that? Jeez. Alright, so, Zerka Corporation. Zerka Corporation are weapons manufacturers. They're in the business of making weapons, providing them to the Republic. They are not in the business of restoration. Now, there is kind of a contradiction, and I don't know if this is intentional to the plots or if it's a plot hole, but one of the things that is pointed out is that, oh, that's a plasteel case. Cool little fountain. So, what was pointed out is that Zerka Corporation has several patches of land owned by them, and these patches of land with the restoration projects have had a problem of withering away and dying. In that case, why would they take this contract? Because if you think about it, it would be very, very, very bad business sense to actually let a project that you contractually agreed on fail. It could cause fines, it could cause penalties, and it could cause loss of trust for future contracts within the Republic. So, they suspect that they're using it to have bases on the planet, on the surface of a planet, which is fine and all, but that ends up with another problem, and this is where the loophole begins. See, if you can't get into the planet without your ship corroding and falling out of the sky, then ultimately your ship, your, not just your ship, but the entire planet, the restoration of the planet, relies on you, because if that restoration project fails, there's going to be no hospitable place for you to land, and that is the problem. So, what do we do about it? Well, Zerka is not necessarily the nicest company out there. They really want this contract. Like, a ridiculous amount of effort is going to be stressed by Zerka to get there.
She enjoyed it out, and she began Gorufio. Fane Guris Uftakal Chief. Golatufta. Tudin Tuflafa. Papuelta. Tuflafan Dibu Gelfa. Sidan Gelfa Vadinugan Gelfa. Linda Tufta. Sidan Gelfa Vadinugan Gelfa. Linda Tufta. Ventundas. Noi Sidan Gelfa. Papuelta.
Interesting little theory there. Whether that's wrong or not, I do not know. But we will actually have to get our own little module. Well, get to a module where Tilo Security has all of our weapons and supplies and all that fun stuff. Alright, now we're in a lower segment. That's fine by me. It's not the merchant I'm looking for, but...
That didn't look like an accident to me or my...
Ah, fuck.
Not even an apology. That won't do at all.
Oh, what's going on here?
This Sulluston here had a few things to say about us that we didn't take to so well. We're just trying to work out our differences.
You don't say. And how do you plan on doing that?
The only way that he'll learn. A little physical reinforcement.
I think you should leave now.
Yeah? Or what? You're gonna teach me a lesson? Go ahead.
You asked for it. And there are no weapons.
Say the word.
This shall not stop us long.
Oh, this is badass. Hey. Why are they allowed to do this?
Charanana gundoso remina che l'orak guru katada. Fiadoratore padano ringatel camarada telefibu nubu de Bicarana cenirara.
Yeah, you should leave in case their friends come looking for them. Yes, and I will accept that reward.
Gosa nekrana nanki.
Oh, look at that guy doing absolutely jack shit. get our stuff.
Welcome to Entertainment Module. I will call. One moment. I regret.
So yes, the Ebon Hawk is gone. I totally forgot. I was trying to skip because I thought I was just getting the weapons. But anyway, the Ebon Hawk is gone. The TSF believes it was stolen and is currently being investigated. Remember, there was a Handmaiden.
It seems the Ebon Hawk was transferred to Telos' surface instead of an impound dock. However, both the requester and the point of delivery are unknown. In addition, the vessel is not showing up at any government-sanctioned landing site. I would conjecture that it has been stolen, and the TSF records have been illegally accessed and modified.
I knew it! That stupid T3 unit stole our ship. It's probably joyriding through the system right now, laughing at us, laughing at me.
That is unlikely. While your utility droid is not accounted for, numerous satellites track all incoming and outgoing vessels. There is no record of the Ebon Hawk leaving the system.
Wait, you're saying the ship's actually somewhere on Telos' surface? I don't understand. Telos' atmosphere is highly corrosive outside the shielded restoration zones. Where else could someone land safely?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that's all the information I have for you. Of course, the quarters and residential module OA2 will remain yours until the situation is resolved.
Alright, can I get my possessions back at least?
Fortunately, your possessions were kept in the armory and were uncompromised. I will open the door for you so that you may retrieve them. You will find them in the security lockers.
Oh, that works for me. And yes, I do have a lightsaber. And if you're wondering, yes, it is kind of a mod. Because in this game, it is an absolute bitch trying to get a lightsaber. Now once you do get a lightsaber, you pretty much can't play the game without it. As with all games. But yes, so let's go to the shuttle bay and figure out where we need to get this droid from.
Dragon X1 gestale lorcha jemu mepete rong choda? Ruka sole molosop?
Oh. No, you must have confused me for... Oh, wait. No, and if there's nothing else, step aside.
Kavanata Galu! Kavanami Donkey Krato.
I'm not interested in talking to anyone from Zerka.
Huta Yanolia! Jukta gene chubawanki na juong winoton ma no mivrita. Charika yayakta min sobachina ninga ballo cha juksoni chortuna.
Thought I was gonna fight him. Open Bay 2 door.
I'm glad you're here. I'm the only man the TSF could spare, and frankly, I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, don't have a bad feeling about this.
Excuse me, Master, but it seems we have some additional visitors.
That is a good question. But we do have I'd say you getting a heavy blaster sounds like a good idea. You getting a vibro sword sounds like a good idea. And you get the lightsaber. As I mentioned before, in the regular game, a lightsaber's kind of hard to come by. Now let's see what else. Energy shield would be good. Energy shield, and of course, energy shield. Fear, then energy shield. Stun. And flurry him. He's gonna throw a grenade. Let's go!
More where that came from! Everyone down! More where that came from!
Master, one of the assailants was carrying this.
It looks as though this blaster has been heavily modified. Yes, I'll get the droid back to the Thorians right away. Now, I actually wonder if this modified holdout blaster is any good. But, either way, I'd say we definitely went through a lot of stuff. Honestly, the Paragus station is not as interesting as the Telos station, and the Telos station is not as interesting as Telos. And Telos is not as interesting as, you kind of see where I'm going, as Nar Shaddaa or any of the other 4 planets you get to go into. And I don't think that's a good idea sneaking into there. Actually, maybe it's not, but either way, I'll see you next time.